Joey, and I'm here to tell you all about getting your sailor to boot camp. Whoop, whoop. So, a little bit about myself. My name is Joey, and I am dating the most sexy Navy recruit, Tyler. And we met each other in college. We got along. Everything was great, but college didn't work for either one of us. I went to a different school to do nursing. He went to the Navy. A little bit about joining the Navy. Once you get everything filled out and taken care of, it's easy. But getting everything filled out and taken care of can be difficult. So, I'm going to tell you guys how to get up to the point of boot camp. From my point of view, I mean, there are so many different scenarios and so many different stories. So watch as many videos as you need to watch because everyone's experience is vastly different. Vastly different. So let's get into this. So when Tyler first decided to join, he actually chose the Air Force first, but he has some misdemeanors on his background. They told him that he could not join, so we went to the Navy. They said it wasn't a big deal. They had guys like that all the time. It's not a big deal. They just needed all the information about it. So if you've ever been in trouble with the law, or if you have something that you had to go through medically that you're not really sure if it's going to work out, get all the information first. Get everything about it. Every ticket, every fine, every little piece of that thing that is involved with it needs to be given to a recruiter, because the more information they have, the more that they know that you finished out all of your fines and everything, the more that they know, the easier it is to get it waived and just pour out the information. So the first thing that we had to do was give them all of that information and fill out. It's just one page talking about, it says, have you ever done drugs? Blah, blah, blah. Have you ever been in trouble? Have you ever traveled outside the country? Your name, blah, 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 blah. So we give them that, and we give them that packet, and they go and they talk to the higher-ups, and they're like, hey, we have this guy, he wants to join, here's all this information about him, and this is the one problem. They're either going to say, yeah, sure, we'll let him in, or they're going to say, hell no. They said yeah, so then we were called back in, and we had this huge packet to fill out, and it asked everything. It asked who your neighbors were growing up. It asked if you've ever done drugs, if you've ever been in trouble, if you've ever just anything, any little information about you, they want to know. So you fill out the packet and you give it to them, and they send it off along with a copy of, for Tyler, they asked for a copy of his passport, his driver's license, his social. And they sent that information off. And they told us they'd get back to us in a couple days. It took them 3 weeks. It usually should not take them this long. But we had 2 recruiters. One was leaving the military. It was his last few months. And one was about to go on a ship. So they were elsewhere instead of really focused into their work. But they didn't call us back, and we actually had to call them. And when we called them, they're like, oh, yeah, we'll take care of it. A week later, called them again. Oh, yeah, we'll take care of it. 3 days later, I was like, Tyler, call them and tell them you want that information filled out, or you're going to try going to a different branch. Called them, told them that. They're like, whoa, son, whoa, 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 whoa. We got you. We'll send your paperwork out right now. That'll get them. So literally a day later, they called and they're like, hey, so you ready to go to MEPS? And we're like, wait, what? Go to MEPS? What's MEPS? What are they talking about? MEPS. Military Entrance Processing, or Military Entry Processing, blah, blah, blah. You guys look it up. It's basically where they're going to look at you physically, mentally, and they just decide where you're going to fit and if you're going to fit at MEPS. If you don't fit at MEPS, then sorry, military is a no-go. If you do fit at MEPS, welcome. That's when this stuff really starts taking a turn. It starts just tumbling into each other. But how you get someone to MEPS is we actually drop Tyler off with his recruiter. Some people will drop them off at the hotel. But either way, they get dropped at the hotel, and you go in, and there's this lady at a desk, and you fill out all your information, and you sign in, and they'll give you a room key, a meal ticket for in the morning, and a meal ticket for that night. And they'll give you an itinerary of everything that's going to happen. Usually first you're going to eat, then you're going to have a meeting where they basically describe the rules of the hotel and everything. And the rules of the hotel it's basically like rules if you ever went on a school trip. No one's allowed in your hotel. No, you're not allowed to go to the girls' rooms. The girls are on a completely different floor. The guys are on a completely different floor. No girls and guys, no guys and girls. If you took that the wrong way, then yeah, you can't do that either. If you have somebody who wants to come to the hotel, because there is a moment where you have a free period, you can actually go to the hotel with your recruit. I didn't that time. I went the second time he went to MEPS, but that first time I didn't go. You can work out and everything like that, but you cannot have a family member or someone who's not military in your room. The only person who is allowed in your room is the roommate that you're assigned. And the roommate you're assigned may be there at MEPS for the first time, just like you are, or they might be at MEPS for their processing and they're about to leave. So you just never know. Anyways, you go to MEPS, you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I don't know if he left at 4 or he had to be up at 4. Either way, you're up early. Get used to it. If you're joining the military, you're going to be up early a lot anyways. So, he got up at 4 and he ate breakfast and they sent him to MEPS. And with him, they started with the ASPAB. Then they went to his medical and on and on and on and on. Basically, they're just going to look you up and down all around to make sure that if they're going to invest their time and their money in you, that there's somebody that they need to invest their time and money in. And don't worry about the duck walk and this and that. They're going to show you how. It sounds really complicated. It's not. Tyler taught me how to do it after he got back from MEPS. I can do it. I mean, and I'm not like Queen Fitness over here, so... Queen Fitness. That could be the name of a fitness place. Anyways, it doesn't matter. You're going to figure it out there. Don't stress out about it. The only thing that really sucked about MEPS for Tyler is, 1, all the waiting, and 2, when you go to see that doctor, he is literally going to look all over you, okay? So expect to be grabbing your ankles and showing him, your orifices. Okay, he's got to make sure it's all pristine. So those were some things that kind of weirded him out, but he processed in, and at the end, they have this big book of jobs, and they're like, all right, what job do you want? Or if you have a job in mind that you've talked about with your recruiter, because they will tell you what jobs, and it's basically because they need certain jobs, so the military will let your recruiter know, hey, we're running low on these people, we need these people, and they're going to try to, that means that the enlistment bonuses are going to go up on those jobs, and they're going to be pushing them. Really think about the job that you choose. You can also go in as, I can't remember what it's called. It's undeclared or something like that, which is basically where you don't really have a job. You go in and you kind of figure things out, and then you choose a job. Tyler was going to go in as a nuclear engineer because the enlistment bonus was high. And he went in and he read the big book, and he decided, nope, I'm going to be an AO. So if you know an AO, holla, holla. We're family. Kinda. Maybe. Anyways, so after you pick your job, they're going to print out a paper, and the paper is going to tell you where your boot camp is, which they're always in the same place. It's Great Lakes in Illinois. You're going to get a paper saying where your A school is going to be, or whatever school you're going to, and it's going to tell you how long. Don't put too much stock into what it says. Those papers are super old that say how long you're going to be in tech school. The recruiter told us that Tyler was going to be in school for 4 months. The paper said 4 weeks, and then somebody who wasn't AO told us 8 weeks, so I don't know. I honestly, at this time, because Tyler just left for boot camp, I honestly don't know how long his school is going to be. I don't even know what his address is right now. I can't even write him a letter, so I'll let you know when I know. But anyways, they told us he joined in August. And they were like, yeah, okay, he's going to leave in April. And we're like, what the heck? In April? That was so far away. And we're thinking, so what? He signs up, and then we just sit around and we're like, oh, it's April. Huh, I guess it's time. Wrong. You will have to attend DEP meetings. And the DEP program, oh, thank God that he was in it, because it really, really, really helps. You have to go once a month to these meetings, and they're basically a bunch of other kids, adults, anybody who's joining. You go, and they teach you a little bit about the Navy and prepare you for boot camp. They give you a book. Study the book. I'm sure you hear everybody saying that. Please just study, because at first, Tyler was like, everybody says that, and he didn't study. And the last few months, he really, really studied. And whenever, because like I said, his recruiters were done. At the very end, right, like maybe like a month ago, his recruiters left and a new recruiter came. And he asked Tyler what all he knew, and Tyler knew the general orders, Tyler knew the chain of command, he knew the RTC Maxim, which is super easy, the Sailor's Creed, he knew everything he needed to know, and his recruiter was like, boot camp is going to be a breeze for you, a breeze. And the more you know, the more time, the less time you have to spend studying there, the more sleep you'll get. It'll just, whew, you'll be able to breathe. And if you study the book, and the first test that you take there will be over the DEP program. If you pass it, you go up in pay grade. And who doesn't like more money, right? Also, exercise. You have to exercise. If you're somebody who already loves to exercise, great. If you don't like to exercise, you better start exercising. The Navy isn't too, from what we've heard from other people who just got out, they said it's not too exercise crazy, but if you have never exercised in your life and you can't even do like 3 push-ups, yikes, you better start working out. Just, especially if you're in the DEP program for as long as Tyler was, that's way more than enough time to get everything figured out. Um, the closer it gets, the more paperwork you have to fill out. Um, you want to prepare yourself, like I said, mentally, physically, because you're going to go through something that's kind of difficult. That's the point of boot camp. They're going to break you down to build you back up. They're going to tear you apart to put you back together as someone who can fight for this country. And it's a really big deal. So don't take boot camp lightly. You know, it's something that you really need to be prepared for. Speaking to all my Navy girlfriends and Navy wives and Army girlfriends and military, just anybody who's not actually going but who's sending someone. It is super stressful. I have never been so stressed out in my whole life. Um, it's amazing. I started noticing the change right away and how motivated he was, and my heart was exploding with pride. And just for anybody, let's go ahead and talk about the second time you go to MEPS, which will be a day before you actually go on the plane. You're going to go into MEPS the second time, and it's just going to be a briefing. They're going to tell you what you're going to do, and you're going to swear in. If you have a loved one swearing in, go to this ceremony. Please go. Please. My gosh. It's the first time that I've ever seen Tyler so serious. So the room was really small, and I walked in, and he was standing at attention, but his back was faced towards me. And he was at attention towards the flag. And he was leaving with one other guy, so it was just him and this guy. And your heart stops. It is dead silent in that room. Dead silent. Oh my gosh. And if you are dating a goofball like I am, I've never seen him look so serious. And then they swear in, and it's just, I had the hugest smile on my face, and I was crying because, I wasn't crying because I was necessarily sad, but just the extreme sense of pride. Just, it's an extremely powerful moment. Please go. Please go. It's so important. After they swear in, I stayed at MEPS until he got on that bus because he swore in. Then he ate lunch. Then he did a briefing. I stayed there. I sat on that couch. I actually got to go back and eat lunch with him, and stayed on the couch and waited for him to be done briefing. And I followed the bus to the airport. I sat with him at the airport, and you could actually get a pass. Don't let anybody tell you you can't, because you can. Go up to the desk where he gets his ticket and say, I'm here, he's leaving, I want to go back there with him. And they'll give you a pass. So you can go all the way back to where you can see the plane drive up. And they're gonna wait for a little bit, their plane's gonna show up. And for me, for someone like me who holds in all their emotion, like I said, I happy cried during that event, but throughout the whole time I hadn't really cried. And the plane got there, and they're like, we'd like all of our military people to join the plane first, and everybody was clapping, and it's like my heart just felt like it was about to explode. Um, it hadn't really hit me that he was going to be gone. We'd lived together for a year, so I was so used to him being there, and all of a sudden he was going to be gone, and I couldn't hold it in. Call me a baby if you want. I cried, and I cried, and I cried, and it's hard. It is really, really hard when they leave. Just like I'm sure it's hard for him. I haven't got to hear from him yet, but I think that's the hardest part. It's the lack of communication. But whenever you start thinking, oh my God, I miss him so much. Oh my God, this is horrible. Just remember the sacrifice that you both are making for your country, the sacrifice that he's making. It's a huge one. And don't take it lightly for a second. Don't take it lightly. Because it's a pretty big deal. I recommend immediately start writing. I've already written him, I have him right here, 4 letters. I've already written him 4 letters. 4 letters, and some of them have 3 letters inside. Anytime I think about him, I write him. Don't be afraid to write. I don't really know if he'll have time to read all of them, but I do know because, like I said, I am the child of an army brat. Army brat. I am an army brat. I am a child of somebody who's in the army. It matters. It means a lot. Those letters really help them, and they're really isolated from their families, and it's nice to get a letter. Don't be upset if they don't write back. They're busy. They're not, writing days are on Sundays, and you're not even going to get their address until, the recruiter said, probably around 3 weeks for us. I don't know if it'll really be that long. I will post a video as soon as I get that letter, but he said around 3 weeks. So yep, it's hard, and I know you're thinking, well, oh my gosh, I just want to be able to write them. Oh my gosh, I miss them so much. But just imagine you're around your family. They're around none of their family. So, but they're doing this thing. They're doing it. They're keeping their head up. So you've got to do the same thing. You have got to keep your head above water. Go online. Join forums. I joined the Experience Project. Join that. Reach out to people on your Facebook who you know have gone through this. This is great. Social media is a great thing because people can reach out and say, hey, I'm going through this. And somebody else can say, hey, me too. I'm going through the same thing. And oh my gosh, it helps. And stay close to your family. My family's not too supportive. You would think that they would be because of the situation, but that's not, they didn't want me to have to go through the same struggles, I think. So they're not as supportive, but that's okay. There's always someone. There's always someone out there who's going to be willing to support you and help you get through this. And I'm here. Any comments, any posts. If your boyfriend left in April, or if your son or anybody else left in April, let me know. I want to know. It'd be awesome. Oh, and there's a Facebook page that I joined. Pulling out my handy dandy phone. And it's, I'm trying to look up what exactly it's called. It's called the U.S. Navy Recruit Training Command. It's what it looks like. And they post pictures. Now, you're not going to, Tyler's not even assigned a division yet, so I can't even, I wouldn't be even know. But they post pictures every now and again of recruits. And I'm talking like, you're thinking, well, they won't start posting till around graduation. No, honey, I'll show you. They will post pictures of them. I don't know if you can see that. Their first week there. Um, it's a hit and miss. Some people will never see their kids, but there's so many comments and so many likes saying, oh my God, that's my son. Oh my God, that's my boyfriend. Oh my God, that's my husband. I joined it, and maybe it just gives me a spark of hope, but yes, join, get on there. It will help a lot. Um, if you go onto, if you type in Great Lakes and you go onto their website and you go into other sources, there's a thing called Navy Moms. If you're a Navy mom, get on there. You can connect with other women whose sons are in their division. It just helps. It helps a lot. Reach out. Always reach out. Do something that you love to do, and it'll make the time pass. Um, that's the only thing I struggle with is making my time pass. I'm finishing up school, so time's passing. I have a job. I'm hobbies, stupid hobbies too. I decided to take up sewing just because I needed something to do with my life. Call me old-fashioned, but it's something that I do. Um, Weird things that I've done to make me feel more close to him. I this may be a little weird. I use his body wash and I use his cologne because it smells like him. I also have shirt pillows that I've made, and I take his shirt, and it's a shirt that wasn't too smelly. Like, go ahead and like, this is going to be weird, but smell the pits. Make sure it's not too smelly. Like maybe a shirt he kind of just briefly wore and took off, but it smelled like him. And I put it on my pillows so I can smell him. We decided he wanted me to read a book while he was gone that he had read, which is the Harry Potter series. He's a big Harry Potter fan, so I was like, I'll read it. Some of you are thinking, I can't believe you haven't read it. And I'm like, well, calm down, okay? Like, I just haven't. He also has a movie series that he wants me to watch. I'm watching Friends because he's a huge Friends fan. I'm kind of into Friends. And Smallville. He was really big into Smallville. I never really watched Smallville. Um, so do those things, but don't get so involved in those things that it brings you down. Also have your own things. It's really important to have your own things. And like me, I don't have a lot of friends here because I lived in Arkansas for a year. Um, and it's hard. It's still hard. That's the hardest part, is not having somebody to reach out to. But um, reach out to your family. And if you're struggling with your family, because trust me, I am, um, reach out on forums. And that's all you can do. I really hope this video helps. I'm going to post more the more that I know. But right now, that's all that I know. And I hope this helps in some way. Good luck, guys who are joining. Thank you so much for your service. And girlfriends, moms, wives, brothers, sisters, anybody, thank you for your service too, because you're also, a piece of you is serving. You're definitely not serving, like, don't get me wrong, like, people who are in the military don't hate me because we're not serving the same way as you, but it is a type of serving, you know. We're giving a piece of ourselves to our country, and just know that the sacrifice that you're making is noticed. People notice, and only 1% of people have to deal with this. So you should feel honored. You should feel proud. And that's all I gotta say for now. Bye.